Come here, you tubulum! My name is NoNo, and welcome to another episode of Wani Hug That Gator. We are definitely exiting February as I'm filming this, but we are going to continue this because I'm enraptured, as I've said in previous episodes, and I have been enjoying myself. So, not exactly what I wanted to do with Love Fest. I was anticipating at least one more playthrough, but that's okay. Once everyone has left, he closes the class door and locks it. So, care to explain? Explain, sir? He opens the door in the back and signals Olivia to come on out. The mud, the drenched clothes, the declaration of sanctuary. I was having a bad day. She's looking a bit better, still drained, but she's not shivering. Her rat sits on her lap, and Latican extends a finger down and scratches under its chin. I can see that. He takes a seat against a nearby desk and waves a hand for Olivia to go on. When she doesn't, he shifts his hand to me. I look between the two of them. Mr. Latican's expectant leer and Olivia's pleading eyes. Ultimately, I shake my head in the negative. I just helped Olivia get out of the rain. Of course. He slouches further atop the desk. Can I tell you some other time? Sure. Whatever it was, it looks like you've recovered pretty well. Olivia doesn't answer verbally, instead giving him a bashful smile and nod. Was it about your work again? Yeah. Oh, this girl. He turns to me and points a thumb at her. You know, the work she's so concerned about absolutely wrecks the grading curve in my class. For the sake of the other students, I had to put a limit on extra credit assignments. Really? Yeah. Never before would I have ever considered such a restraint. Why punish someone for working too hard, I would think to myself. Then 4 years ago, this little green goblin comes rolling in my class, half a semester and more than a few angry calls from parents later, my hands were tied. Young lady simply does too dang much. Olivia smiles but doesn't look up from her pet. It was that much better than all the other students? Well, no, I don't grade by technique. If I did, you'd be in big trouble, Linko. Olivia's work was very good even then, but the main thing I admire is how motivated she can be. I haven't seen someone so enthused to just paint in years. Certainly haven't seen anyone so enthused I had changed the rules like that. You were worried it'd stop me? Was I? That definitely sounds like me, but it didn't stop you, not even a little. Heck, that year you even got me to see some things differently. I don't think I ever did anything like that. You did, when you came in class after the Friday before Mother's Day. Take a look at this. I'm handed the quill pen, and the first thing I note about it is how soft the feather portion is. It's the special pen you always use. It's actually from my wife. Whoa! Inspecting it closer, I can see more of the intricate details. From the faded engravings on the shank to the maintained but worn point, it's well made and kept, and yet the feather and brass showed its age. She came in that afternoon with a whole stack of crumpled painting drafts, so frustrated she couldn't get it right, and so determined to make it perfect. I say any of these would be great, your aunt would love any of these, and she fires back. If it's not good enough for me, why would it be good enough for someone I love? I did not have an answer. So I tell her to take a step back, we take a few hours to go over fundamentals once more, I send her home to try getting her right over the weekend, and come Monday she returns and hugs me first thing. That Friday night, though, what she'd said was on my mind. I talked about it all night with my wife. Then that morning I decided to make a change for myself. My wife was molting at the time, so there was always a new feather or three in our blankets each morning. I took the biggest one, preserved it right, got a bit of help to make it into a real pin, and I've used it ever since. It helps me remember to do my job right, for the people I care about, and for the people my students care about. I think what it was, it's that childlike reasoning that comes so naturally for the youth. That reasoning, it makes a type of innocent, earnest dedication, something I think I'd lost for a while. Don't give me too much credit. You haven't lost it, have you? Good. Don't lose it for me, okay? Okay. Latican yawns and stretches. You feeling alright to go to your next class? Yes, I'm ready. Great. He claps a hand over my back. We should do this again sometime. Mr. Latican ushers us out of his classroom as the late bell trills, handing us a note he'd rapidly scrawled on. Miss Prockley didn't seem enthused to see us come in late, but sighed as she read the late note from Latican. As I took my usual spot, I felt something odd in the corner of my eye. Looking up, it was to see Olivia looking my way, with that smile on her face, one that spoke so many words that I couldn't figure out what. All I could do in turn was try to match it before focusing on Miss Prockley's latest lecture. As more time passes, the art contest fades into the background. Last week I had a scare with Miss Principal Scaler called me to her office. I feared that they figured out what Olivia did and assumed I was part of it, just as she predicted. Luckily, that wasn't the case. Instead, she wanted to inform me that they had no leads as to who could have done the swap, and since it was tampered, it had to be removed from the contest. No skin off my back, honestly. As compensation, she gave me one of the runner-up prizes, a coupon for some pizza from some Italian restaurant called Dinomo's. Not the biggest pizza fan, but not a bad prize to get after all this. Saving it for a rainy day. However, I found myself in a conundrum of my own doing. My peers' concerns about my entry were resolved, but I hadn't accounted for the new questions about my portfolio. My paint portfolio. The few times I showed my photography work, they'd be mildly impressed at best. They were never upfront about it either. No, instead I got the runaround. Oh, yeah, those are nice. Not bad, not bad. What did you do for the contest? I can't even be mad about it, since it's just another misunderstanding, unintended lie from my side of things. But then I had a thought. What if it wasn't a lie? What if I was actually good at painting? And after working at it for the past month, I still suck shit. Yeah, no, I can't unscrew this. For the past 3 weeks, I've been staying after school making use of one of the club rooms to practice. Yeesh, Shinko, did you listen to any of the tips I gave you? Using everything I had at my disposal, naming the textbooks, Mr. Latican, and how-to tutorials online, I'd stay up as late as possible trying to get the same skill level as Olivia. And as I stare at the horrid acrylic monstrosity before me, I can do nothing but weep at my own inadequacies. Not actually weep, but squinting at the Lovecraftian horror before me, and I can maybe see a little progress drowning in the madness of the excess paint. Olivia had made good on her promise to help teach me around the time I asked Mr. Latican to borrow the keys to the spare room. And while I memorized all of her teachings down to the letter, what am I even looking at? Are you trying to be an abstract sort of thing here? It was an attempt at self-portrait, actually. Could probably post it online and some rich asshole would buy it. Is that good? No, never trust the opinions of people on the internet. I learned that the hard way. Yeah, okay, get out of here. After a brief period of awkward silence, I let myself collapse on the stool behind me and toss off the oily apron in frustration. At this rate, I'm gonna be double fraud or something. Oh shit. Splat! I don't even have the energy to get angry. Probably looks better now, at least. Ha! How did Olivia get so good at this? Olivia, please, you've got to have some actual advice for me. She quietly hums to herself, slipping away a notebook she'd sprawled across her lap into a nearby bag. Well, when I want to draw, it's usually because I've got something on my mind. What, like inspiration? Kinda, more so that I just envisioned something and I want to put that on canvas. Amused. Holy shit! The door of the studio flies open and Damon quickly storms inside. Here you go! Olivia! Are you guys here? He takes deep breaths as his vision darts around the room. After a moment of surprise, I raise my arm to catch his attention. Damien, what's wrong? The hyperactive Dilophosaurus spots me, taking a final breath before jogging over. Guys, I need to ask you something! What, is everything alright? Is something happening? I can't help but panic. I've never seen Damien this flustered. You want to come to the arcade with me and Liz? Is that it? Yeah, that's what I said. Wait, when was this decided? I thought something bad had happened. Nope, just asking. Liz already has the car prepped and everything. Oh. I probably should have expected that, but still. How'd you know we were here? No, I didn't. I just kept opening doors until I found you two. I've been at it for a while, actually. Damien's eyes dart to the canvas that lies on the floor next to me. You working on your next masterpiece? Ooh, painting sideways is probably one of your trade secrets, huh? Olivia hides her snicker with her hand. Don't worry, I won't tell a soul. Yeah, that's right. Don't tell anybody. I lean down to pick up the canvas and place it upright, deciding to remove the ugly painting and place it in the corner of the room to dry. Anyhow, how about it? To the arcade? The olive Baroxen fidgets, her brow lowered in contemplation as she considers the question. The arcade, huh? It's not like I had any other plans today. Sure, why not? Alright, let's go. Wait, don't just... Oh, God. Knock the fucking easel over again. Inko, Olivia, there you are. Damien was taking so long to get you out, I was about to come find you myself. This time, both Damien and I are wheezing for air. Despite Olivia's protest and hesitation, Damien had wasted no time in grabbing her by the handlebars and sprinting for the exit. I chased after them all the while Olivia screamed like a banshee. She was pushed through the hallway at a breakneck pace. Yeah, I I take a deep breath and stand upright. Olivia's claws have dug into her armrest, and she's definitely trying to kill Damien with her glare, which she happily ignores. Why didn't you just message me or something? I wanted to, but I didn't want to ruin your concentration, man! So instead, you kicked in the art room door? Yep. Liz had the good grace to look embarrassed on Damien's behalf. But yeah, I gave you a little bit extra time, right? You've been staying late forever now. Can't hide the wince. It hadn't occurred to me that more people would notice. Ah, relax. Not like you're the only one. Yeah, sometimes I need to stay behind for student council and club meetings. Right, sure, yeah. So, come on. Cars in the student section. How the fuck does a dino with that long of a neck drive? Definitely has a battering ram-like neck thing. The dino duo start toward the student parking lot, heading towards a rather odd but well-kept sedan. Olivia grumbles silently to herself, but follows after nonetheless. Come on, dude. It'll only take a few minutes to get Olivia in, and then 30 to get to the arcade. It won't take that long, damn it. Olivia huffs and wheels herself to the passenger side, opening the door for herself. Do you need any... It's fine. To punctuate her statement, Olivia uses her strong arms to lift herself on her armrests. Then, with no more grace than I thought possible from the olive-skilled girl, she managed to flop into the passenger seat. I stare at the abandoned chair, wondering where to put it. I've got room in the trunk, Inko. Clunk! The trunk lid pops open with a heavy thunk to punctuate that. It takes me more time than I'd like to admit to figure out how to undo the locks to actually collapse the chair, but once it's done, I'm able to slide into the spacious storage area easily. Damien had already hopped through the window in the front of the passenger seat by the time I'm done, as if he'd practiced the maneuver. Clack, clack, clack! I simply open the door behind Liz's seat and watch as a pile of soda cans empty onto the pavement below. Ah, sorry, those were from this morning. Just toss them in the back seat when I'm done. Surprised Liz doesn't make you use a bag. I do. Damien pulls up an overflowing plastic bag as if it were a trophy. Why haven't you tossed those bottles out already? I'm saving them for a project about recycling. Plus, I'm going to use a couple of them for a sculpture. Saves me the trouble going out and finding aluminum. And I get to drink as much soda as I want. I don't really say anything as Damien scoops out the rest of the cans from the floor of the car and puts them in a new bag, which he then stuffs in the car's trunk before giving me and Olivia a thumbs up. Alright, dudes, we're good to go. I nod and slink into the semi-clean seat. My hand searches for the buckle of the seatbelt and brushes against something warm and soft. There's a tiny gasp next to me and a comfortable mystery in my hand is yanked away. Huh? I look to Olivia, her hand held to her chest. Her green face has a scarlet tinge, and her mirror-shade eyes glare holes through my head. You okay? The emerald-scaled girl turns her maw from me. I stifle a mystery chuckle at that. The warmth on my palm fades, however, and leaves my hand feeling lost. Okay, all the safety checks are done. Oh my god, she fucking, like, boa constricts her neck in. That's... Okay, sorry, I had to get that out. Liz gets in the driver's seat and grips the steering wheel. Outside, she's craning her neck to check on the mirrors and tires. Wait, Liz drives with her head sticking out the window? Liz pokes her head in. What's that? Her neck snakes inside and coils around the hook in the middle of the car. Then, with practice motion, her neck continually coils till her head sits atop the neck roll as if no different from someone putting on shoes. Kinda looks like a giant scale-covered scarf. Even still space for her to see through the windows and check behind her. Inko? Wasn't anything important. Alright. But, the city, right? I'd actually been wanting to see a bit more close up for Latican's class. Do you know how much gas money to burn to take a detour around here? Good, because neither do I. Let's go. Hey, what? No! I barely have enough as is. The view on the way is fine. I'm looking forward to it as well. You sure? Yeah, I'll point out some stuff I remember along the way. You're my tour guide now. Don't make me change my mind. Glad that's settled. Everyone buckled in, right? Liz pulls away from the school parking lot, starting down the opposite direction I've always entered and exited. Weird to think, but the edge of the world was as close as a right turn out of my own school. Then again, I still haven't been living here long. Anybody want a station? I don't think I've listened to the radio here either. Liz and Olivia hardly seem to glance at Damien's direction as well. Suit yourselves! Within the span of a few seconds, the natural ambience of the road is replaced with the loud sound of decades-old rock music, sending vibrations throughout the car and everybody in it. Just as fast as it comes, however, it stops as Liz haphazardly yanks the volume knob counterclockwise, toning the music down to a bearable level. Damien frowns for a moment, but he doesn't seem to contest her decision. What the... I turned off all the notifications except for messages and calls between all the people I messaged. There's only one person who isn't inside the car. Checking the screen, I see... Any song request, man? Seriously? I don't know, Damien. So long as it isn't twangy country music. Sure, sure. Wait, you've been texting? How long? Yeah, since like the first week of school. What the heck, dude? Let me see your phone. I hand it over, open the contact creation page. She taps the first few numbers and pauses. Then sheepishly yanks her phone from her coat pocket. She doesn't know her own number? Olivia finishes tapping her number and then hands it back. She's entered herself as Live Long. Huh, sounds vaguely oriental. Bzz. Test. Yep, got it. Bzz. I was not ready for the mental flashbang image of a fucking rat flipping me off. Please tell me that's not the origin of that meme. I swear to God I've seen that picture before. Please tell me that is not the origin of that. Oh, God. That was uncalled for. That's why I sent it. She giggles at her own joke, and despite being the butt of it for the mood in the car, it is too high to hold it against her. Before long, the dense forestry starts giving way to more urban developments. More and more decorative palm trees start dotting the paths as well. The silhouette of the city grows closer, it gets closer, and we approach one of those spaghetti junctions leading up to it. The result of decades of poor infrastructure decisions, multi-billion-dollar projects promising to fix all the traffic if they just built one more overpass. Olivia is paying close attention to her phone. She scrolls lazily through some forum. What's so funny? Oh, nothing. Hey, Lizard Lounge? Oh boy, you're still browsing that, Olivia? Yeah. What is it? Don't tell him! It's this weird exclusionary chat room. They only allow dinosaur women. Men and, rather specifically, human men are banned. Racial segregation! Not quite, buddy. Olivia showed me once, and the people who are on it are really weird. Humans are banned? You weren't supposed to tell him. It's the last safe house for us on the internet. I think there's probably better places for that online for you to associate with. Let me tell you about racial segregation. It's not that! It's just how it has been for our safety. Some dino girl can be doing anything at all, and there's always at least 3 guys in the comments saying she looks like... Don't say it. They also really bring down the quality on the site. Look, it's explaining the rules that humans have 1/5 the attention span of dinos. Liz groans while Olivia shows me her phone. The graph is blurred to hell and it can't make out most of the text. I don't know how I feel about all this. What's not to get, Inko? Think about it. You're in history class. It sucks, so you just remember, wait a second, I'm human, and stop listening. I wish I could do that. According to Lady Hitler here, you can. It's just a funny group of women I like. Lay off. Let me have it. You don't really believe that stuff, though, do you? Not really. It's just the rules of the place, alright? Okay. Olivia sticks the phone back in her pocket with a huff. Was the ride to the arcade always this long? I think we're about 20 minutes away from the arcade still. Don't worry, Inko. The water fountains are integrated. Damien with the fucking singers! Shut up! Damien cackles to himself. Alright, I hope the place still sells those hot dogs for just $1. There's no way anyone anywhere sells hot dogs for $1 anymore. You have never heard of the beauty of Costco! Yeah, but they did. It was great. Olivia and I would save our lunch money just to go here instead of class. I don't think I'd trust it if it were still that cheap, honestly. You ate a dog off the floor once. That's different. Is it? Damien fills the air with old tales of his and Olivia's adventures in the arcade. She'd occasionally chime in to correct him on whatever over-embellishment. Even as the last remarks of suburbia melt away and skyscrapers overtake our view of the outside world, I'm finally in the big city. Here we are! I'm almost disappointed when we pull into the arcade parking lot. Large glass windows covered in sun-bleached promotional leaflets adorn the front of the arcade, and the building itself looks a couple decades old. This place was probably successful in the past, but I can only imagine they break even nowadays. Though maybe the recent resurgence of retro deco could change that. I could show you more on the return trip. Come on. Wow, this is like an over-stylized actual fucking picture. Guess she must have seen my brief hesitation. Liz unlocks the trunk and I hop out to get Olivia's chair. As I attempt to heave the thing out of Liz's trunk, it takes considerably more effort than I'd like to admit. Now, how do I unfold this blasted thing? I think there's a release button, right? As I check to make sure that all my fingers were intact, I can see Olivia snickering through the passenger window. Inko-san? That's new. Inko, you have to learn. You have much to learn. Observe. Oh, she's doing a bit. Never mind, I understand now. Olivia makes sure the brakes are held and heaves herself over in one motion. The chair is forced open by momentum alone with a loud crack. She gracefully rose by me, tongue stuck out in a smug victory over my ineptitude. Ready! Sweet. Damien hurries us inside, and I can tell he's the most excited to be out here of anybody. Dude, this place is the bomb! We used to scrounge for change to come here after school. The place is abuzz with activity, flashing machines all competing for attention and gamers excitedly conversing. I lean in a bit closer to Olivia. It's pretty dang loud in here. You gonna be alright having to speak up more? Of course I am. What do you take me for, a kid? Sorry. I appreciate the concern. Liz scowls as she peels her boot from the floor with a loud shh. Ugh. Damn, you could have warned me about Damien's taken off toward a nearby coin machine, fistfuls of bills at the ready. I could have told you to. I've been here before. So why didn't you warn me about the stickiness? Liz's head lowers to the bridge's snoot pinching levels. Well, you two did kind of drop this on me at the last minute. But I still remember this place pretty well. Great, you can show Inko around and I'll go with Damien. Liz meekly puts her pointer fingers together as she looks at the salmon-frilled teen. Those two-player gun thingies look fun to try out. You mean the light gun games? Yeah, those ones. I can't put my finger on it, but something tells me that Liz was banking on splitting apart from the start. Though it would give me an ample opportunity to have some alone time with Olivia. Just to get to know her more, of course. Liz! I think I broke this one's joystick! Liz sighs heavily through her nose. Seriously, Damien? Come on, it's perfectly even and fair. You sure about this, Liz? We could all just stick together. The long-necked dino looks around the arcade nervously. As much as I want to protest the suggestion, it might be for the best. Liz wants to stick with Damien, probably to make sure he doesn't do more damage. And Olivia knows this place as well, so she'll know all the best games. We've already been spending time together at school, so why not? I'm not against the idea, just, Alright, glad you agree. Olivia takes this as her cue to leave, and she quickly pulls Damien away into the deep end of the arcade. Meanwhile, Olivia begins to roll ahead, but stops and gives me an annoyed look. Come on already. Alright, as soon as I step closer, Olivia resumes her casual roll down the aisleway. Olivia's eyes seem distant as she looks over the various game cabinets in the room. Silver iris is dancing to and fro, a soft hum resonating from her mouth. I try and follow her gaze lingers, but she seems to be constantly drifting to something new every other moment while deep in her own thoughts. And as we carry on slowly, the creeping awkwardness in my stomach gnaws away at me. I have no clue what to do right now. The point of this excursion was to relax. It feels rude to interrupt her, but she definitely knows better than me. Say, Olivia. My voice brings her back to the current moment with a start. Her hands maneuvering her chair around to look at me fully. What game should we try first? She shrugs her shoulders. Anything. Okay, then how about one of your favorites? My favorites? Yeah, I used to come here all the time. I'm sure you got something from her. The look of surprise from her is quickly hidden by her turning her chair back around. Fine, my favorites then, my favorites. She pushes her wheelchair with purpose towards a particularly large screen in the corner. Looking at it closer, there's a large block connected to it, and dull, multicolored sticks hanging off the sides with wires. Oh, damn it! I look up at the title above the screen. Ruin Robbers? The more I look at it, the more I see where splotches of fresh paint barely cover poorly done graffiti. Olivia's pout is so prominent as she glares at the face of the funny-looking block before the screen. They updated it. So it should be better then, right? Her pout breaks, transforming into a depressed frown as her eyes seem to gloss over. I follow her gaze to the metal plate at the base to try and better understand. The machine looks pretty well maintained if you ask me. Something wrong with it? They added a foot pedal for the cover action. I test the plate and feel it sink down, and noticing the video demo on the screen changes to a screen with a bunch of ASS with numbers on each instance. This sucks. Olivia's hands curl into fists as she glares at the machine. A twinge runs through my chest when I look back at the frustrated Dino Girl. One aspect of her favorite pastimes has changed in a way that almost robs her of it. The thought strikes a painful chord in my heart, though I know I had zero hand in the game update. All the same, to see the clover-scaled girl look so morose. I turn my eyes away to my feet, the sensation leaving as I do, and with a flash of brilliance overcomes me as I look at my loafers. I have feet! Hey, I've got an idea. She cuts me off with a growl. I know what you're gonna say, and the answer is no. So you're willing to just give up because you can't play it easily? Yes. Olivia's response leaves me a bit floored. Her hateful eyes leer venomously at her former favorite game, but I know my idea will work. Okay, you play then. Haven't you been paying attention? I can't. I'll handle the pedal work. Olivia's words are left hanging as she tries to visualize what I'm saying. Her confused gaze wanders between me and the flat rectangle on the floor. The whole time she looks so goofy I had to withhold a chuckle in fear of her clawing me. She must have realized, though, as she snatches the light gun from my hand, her cheeks bear a red hue. Fine. One game. She looks at the light gun in her hand and takes a deep breath. You better do your job right, Inko. I give Olivia a nod and she wheels herself right next to the arcade machine. Gimme! She reaches out for my hand and goes to take it before I can respond. She takes it for a split second, then moves down to grab my wrist instead. Her scales are soft and warm. Soft and cool, sorry. Hit the those can't be the thing! Nah, that's not right! They'd be scaly! That's why that's a describer! Hit the pedal when I squeeze, capiche? I nod in affirmation and Olivia blasted... Oh, that's a good way to do it, actually. I was wondering how they're going to do that. I nod in affirmation. Olivia blasts the start button into pieces. Oh, shit, here we go. Not so tight! Dude, hit the damn pedal. It's like playing with controller lag. Inko! Sorry! Holy crap, this is worse than I remember. Hi, it's me. I'm the guy that makes sense. Here, you can see I put the respawning enemies in front of a place you're forced to cross. I came up with this idea while eating a bird. I don't even want to sample my ears to fucking... God damn it, not again! Ho-ho! This game sucks! Want to play it again? She's a bit intense. When Olivia finally releases her grip on my wrist, I feel my blood rushing through the imprint she left. We ended up playing 4 or 5 games total. That's probably enough. I'm good to move on. You sure? I don't want to keep you here all day. Olivia looks over the machine one last time before sliding the plastic gun back in its slot. I'm still a bit disappointed they changed it, but thanks. Alright, there's better games around anyway. Let's go. A stray thought from before I really got to know Olivia careens to the forefront of my mind. Sometime along the way, people started calling her Hot Wheels. Don't remember really who or when, but I do know it's proof she's got that fire in her. A fire in her. Before she can roll away too far, my hand takes hold of one of her chair grips, jolting the dino girl from her sullen stupor. Hey, say I've got an idea, Hot Wheels. Why don't we try the fighting game you were so good at? The fighting game? Olivia's jaw clicks shut and her hands ring together tightly. Arcade cabinets can't change, right? I mean... Her gaze turns towards the opposite end of the arcade and I can hear the loud hollers of competition from here. Come on, Hot Wheels, what do you say? The name seems to invigorate her. Her glacier arises hardening, and her ivory claws touching at her wheels. An eerie grin creeps across her features, polishing in an incisor as her predatory eyes latch onto a particular cabinet in the far side. Olivia picks a direction and speeds off, parting the sea of sweaty dinos and leaving a small space of safety in her wake. Like a boat. After a short while passing some digital pachinko machines, she looks back at me for a moment as to confirm my presence and to say, don't lose. Don't lose me. She then yanks her wheelchair to launch herself to the building towards a new destination. What? Hey! I finally give chase, following as best as I can while avoiding the rest of the awestruck players that just witnessed the high-speed dino girl shoving them aside in her wake. As I get closer, the atmosphere seems to grow thicker, the very air becoming dank and heavy, almost as if someone's dialed a humidifier up to 11. For a second, I have to stop in my tracks to catch my breath and try to cool down as my shades begin to fog up. So this is the power of the fighting game crowd. I've heard things, but I thought they were jokes. Through the fog, I spot Liz, or rather Liz's head, sticking above the crowds. Yo, you found us! Getting closer, Damien and Liz's head come into view. Olivia stops and checks one last time that I didn't get washed away in the crowd. She then moves past Damien and Liz, coming to a screeching halt next to a particular cabinet that's occupied by somebody. She removes a shiny coin from her pocket, placing it firmly down on the controls of the current player, who heartily glances at her. As I step closer, I am able to overhear the exchange between the two dinos. The greaseball ankylosaur, without even looking away from the cabinet, starts rattling off his credentials to Olivia as if it were a job interview. You know I'm the best at Jurassic Kick player this side of Volcera, right? Double S rank, three online tournament wins. Besides, it's 50 cents, not... Shut up and nut up already. Olivia's voice causes the Ankylosaurus to grimace and finally turn his head. You really want to try me? Look, Tiny Tim, you gotta... His jaw clinked shut as his eyes managed to sweep above and then down to Olivia. Her eyes squinting as her retinas slowly adjusted to the low lighting of something not displaying brightly colored pixelated characters. Bro, you know you can't just bring chairs over here, right? Not after last summer. Olivia growls and raises a fist, and I think this pale-scaled dino finally sees who is challenging him. His maw flaps helplessly as he tries to explain himself before just stopping himself completely. Never mind. Sorry. The Gator girl sighs and taps a finger on the quarter she'd placed down. Rules say you can't refuse, right? His head tilts in confusion. You know, you look to be the new champ here, right? Yeah, well, this is the champ's cabinet, right? Damien's come over by this point, followed closely by Liz's head. Champ's cabinet. Unofficial, but that's the oldest one here. Been here since the dawn of time. It's like sacred or something. I look over the old machine, the paint on it chipped and positively covered in markering to the point that the only legible thing on it is a very juvenile edit to the game's title. This thing? Yeah, man, they only let the head honchos actually use it. If you're spotted trying without credentials, you end up headbutted. That's bull, but I believe it. I look back to Olivia, who's having a withered stare down with the squat guy she challenged. Look, lady, I'm a big deal here. Buster O'Nuts, crown champ in all of Voldera. This particular Jurassic Kick machine's got a history. It happens to be the same machine that Danio the Rex Go managed to parry. Quit stalling and fight me already! I'm not, I'm just setting the stage is all. Plus, you really think you're the only challenger I've got? I look around and noticing that there is now a group surrounding us. On my title as champion, I'll take all comers now. A hushed whisper goes to the crowd. Finally, I form a line. Okay. Tallest to smallest. What? No kidding. Oh, heck yeah, we're gonna wipe the floor with you, Buster. Wait. What? I don't even play video games. I'm not really a gamer either. Too bad. Consider it the blood tax. I want to protest further, but Olivia's head turns towards me with a pleading look on her face. Besides, you think I want to put my hands on that thing? Who knows where? We're in! Eco! Yes! Come on, Liz, it won't be that bad. You're still by the Brachio booth, right? Hold tight, I'll come get you. Damien pushes back to the small group around us, following Liz's neck to find the rest of her. Her head swivels around and gives chase, her pleas to not have to play falling on deaf ears. Brachio booth? The arcade's claustrophobia so Brachiosaurus would tend to bump into everything, including each other. There was some lawsuit, so now there's a few platforms placed where people like her can sit and reach everything. There's even some water fountains attached. Doesn't stop things from getting tangled when there's multiple, but it's still something. Huh. Lore. In the end, Liz must have relented because she shuffles up with the rest of the group. Fine, let's just make this quick. Liz reluctantly steps forward and towards the arcade cabinet, a crooked smile forming on the self-proclaimed champion's face. It doesn't take long for Liz to completely lose. The large Ankylosaurus' hands move like a blur as they dance around the controls, pummeling their digital opponent in the ground. As boastful as he was earlier, he at least proved that he was skilled at Jurassic Kick, the screen displaying perfect after only a minute against Liz. Liz crosses her arm and starts heading back to her old seat in the booth, head and toe with a pout. Buster leans his back against his class hands to make a show that it was no big deal. Next victim. Damien stretches the cabinet, jams his hands in his pocket for his change. Is there a whole piggy bank in there? Haven't seen your group around here before. Tourists? Huh? Oh, nah, Liv and I used to come here all the time. Life's been tough, you know, so we got some friends to come along and just a little trip down memory lane. Lighten the mood a bit. This place hasn't changed much in the years either. Ah! He hoists the quarters high and jams them in the slot. Once more, the screen lights up and the character selection music busts in. Buster considers his collection. And ultimately chooses the same character. Damien jams on the buttons and picks his fight. What's with that death glare? Damien just picked a counter to his character. Probably expects all of us to be beginners. Buster does seem a bit more tense now. Been a while since then, though. Her explanation is cut short as her words take on a scratchy quality to them. Hey, you okay? Huh? No, I'm fine. I can go and refill your canteen pretty quickly. Sure, thanks. She reaches behind her and unhooks her severely dented water bottle from her chair. There's something to look into for Christmas. That busker guy said there was a water by the Brachio booths, though I can't imagine the water here is very good. Christmas? What? What am I thinking? I haven't gotten anyone a gift like that before. Focus, Eiko. You're just getting some water. I head deeper into the arcade towards the center, passing through the aisle lit by the game screens. You guys done already? No, just refilling Olivia's bottle. Guess I'm gonna miss Damien's match. Say, Liz, this sticker here, what is it? Her head comes in close as she eyes the weird band on the canteen. Oh, that's from some really old show. Like back in the 90s. Why? Just curious is all. Well, I never really asked Olivia about it. Maybe I should. After all, I think I recall watching a video essay about it once. Though I could never really get into older stuff, the animation always looks so choppy. Recapping the bottle, I lead Liz's head back to the fighting game selection. It's surprising that Damien and Buster are still playing, this time both of their hands slamming furiously on the controls. A crowd has even formed around the duo, exchanging low whispers as they watch the old CRT screen. I pick out Olivia at the front of the crowd, close to the cabinet. She's able to watch clearly. She's hyper-focused to the point that when I switch the bottle in front of her face, she just leans over to keep watching. Evil it is, then. I hold the canteen above her muzzle and carefully tip it over until a few drops fall on her face. Her tongue laps around her lips and swipes up the nourishing droplets before glaring at me. Hey! Here you go, fresh from the latrine. Har. She takes the bottle and drowns most of it right away before clearing her throat. Thanks. How's Damien's match going? Well, he's getting too aggressive. He is? Yeah, Buster picked a rushdown character, so Damien picked a zoner to keep Buster at a distance. Problem is that zoners are notoriously bad when it comes to footsies, and are even worse with mix-ups, which means that Buster is able to get into Damien's hurt box. He's going to get super punished and might even lose in a single set. Wait a second, I'm human. So Damien has to keep his distance. It's not looking good for him. Ah, crap. Olivia and I watch from the sidelines as over the next few seconds Buster pulls off an impressive series of moves that crush Damien's character into the ground. Almost like he was waiting for us to get back. Wow, you actually knew how to play. Buster jams an accusatory finger my way as though marking me for death. You're next. Damien's expression carries a hint of disappointment as he steps away from the cabinet, but he quickly peps up and reassumes his usual jovial self. Just me and Olivia left. I nervously step up to the cabinet. A plethora of characters in various fighting poses stare back at me, each with their own promises of victory. I recall an old saying Coach Sully had. If we do not know what we are doing, then the opposing team certainly can't anticipate our future actions! I tap my joystick over till the large question mark in the middle of the screen is highlighted, to the astonishment of spectators and my visibly nervous opponent. The game begins and my opponent beside me seems exceptionally calm as he manipulates his controls, compared to me trying out every button and stick input to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Unlike Damien, who at least looked like he was holding his own against the bloated Buster, I was getting the digital crap beat out of me. Every attempt I have made was met by my character being grabbed and thrown in some ridiculous, elaborate way. By the time the perfect announcement plays out on the screen, I can feel my wrist cramping from the crazy amount of button mashing I've done in under a minute. At least I lasted a little bit longer than Liz. Don't feel too bad. I am the best here, after all. His snort-filled laughter grates on my ears as I walk back to my friends, all of them staring daggers at the pasty-scaled dino. The rest of the crowd are in an uproar along with them, and I can feel my ears heat up at the attention. Olivia's eyes are narrowed as she wheels herself into position, her tail lashing roughly against the ground as she waits for the laughter to die down and her turn to finally begin. Buster chuckles to himself while cracking his knuckles. I just finished wiping the floor with your friends while hardly breaking a sweat. Just so you know who you're dealing with. I'm Buster O'Nuts, achiever of octaves in the Animal Jurassic Wins Wisconsin E-Tournament, demolisher of Ikara, second best player of 2007 through 2012, and co-leader of the Midwestern branch of the Mighty Mammoth Skater Guild. You won't look bad for ducking out, or are you ready to get busted? Wow, what a fucking weird... Okay, you're fat. You know, you can still back out of this. Olivia's response is to insert her coin slowly without breaking eye contact with Buster, with what I can only describe as a predatory leer. She then slams her fist on the start button. Buster instantly moves his cursor towards a different character. Damien next to me lets out a soft gasp. What? What's wrong? Buster's character is like 3 kinds of bullshit is what's wrong. What? Well, for one thing, he's usually gentleman's band and tourneys, and his mouth is moving, but all that comes out is alien words. Buster lets out a cackle and turns to Olivia, giving her a smug grin. Olivia doesn't seem at all fazed by Buster's character choice, clicking her joystick lazily. Soon as Olivia picks her character, the game's announcer blares the name and nod. Wani Long! Damien turns to look at me, the excitement in his face is overbearing. That's Olivia's main! Oh man, this would be one hell of a fight if Olivia's breaking her out! So is this Wani Long a good character? Shortest explanation you understand is, yes. What's the long one? If you don't know what a shoto is, it'll take too long to explain here. Bah, I don't know what a shoto is. Hang on! We gotta fucking look up a word now. Fuck. Shoto means short sword. I did not know that. Alright. Well, Damien rambles on. I recall Olivia's motivation just to get here. That look she had. That more than anything piques my curiosity. So, how good is Olivia with her? Damien's replies to only give me a big wide grin. Oh, you'll see. A loud soundbite from the cabinet speaker signaled the start of Olivia's match. Given the way Damien spoke of Olivia's skills like it was derived from an ancient scroll, I expected to be a flurry of pixelated beatdowns and tactical controller play. But instead it looked like nothing at all. On the large display, both characters are just shifting back and forth, the joystick in Olivia's and Buster's hands clacking about furiously. Honestly, it looks more like they're attempting to make their digital avatars tap dance. Oh! Whoa, wait, did I miss something? I don't even want to turn my eyes away in case something happens. No, it's like they're trying to get a read on each other. It's like they're trying to predict what the other one will do so they can counter and steal the match. Oh, so it's like there's a heavy crack and thump on the floor in front of me. Olivia's tail lashed down at the base of the cabinet while Buster's Thagomizer had managed to crack into the concrete floor beneath me. On screen, the characters finally made contact and sent each other flying in opposite directions. Behind me, the crowd started cheering, finally excited that there was some actual action happening. Damien is hollering next to me, cheering on Olivia with all his might. Ooh, look at that go! That's awesome! Though the excitement dies down again as the duo resumed their cyber posturing, my eyes darted between Olivia and Buster. Olivia is completely absorbed in the match. Her eyes are wide and full of killing intent. Buster, on the other hand, seems like he can barely contain his fury. 10 seconds on the clock. Olivia comes in clutch, punishing Buster's character with an impressive sting of attacks. He manages to get away with a single pixel of health, but just as the time limit runs out. Winner! Wani Long! The crowd goes nuts as Olivia's victory is announced. And you know what? I can't help but cheer along with them. Olivia slumps back on her mobile seat and lets out a sigh before returning to her original position. Buster lets out a snort, twists, and stretches his neck, and cracks his knuckles, before once again gripping the controls tight. Round 2! Clash and Trash! The crowd returns to a more silent state of observing the match closely, only low murmurs as they gawk at the two highly skilled players. The words pass around reach me, attempting to draw my eyes away. Weird for him. Surprised he's not doing the... Is he playing with her? Come on, Olivia! Damien's shout above the rest of them nearly blew my eardrums, but I shared his sentiment as the stylized characters exchange simple blows. The timer continues to tick down, Buster once again being put on the defensive. With how all the previous bouts went, Buster always had control with a cutthroat level of offense, but I didn't think of him being this passive. The countdown once again hits 0, this time with Olivia's character slouching in defeat and the crowd cheering again, though less enthusiastically than before. You've got this, Olivia! Just one more win and you're champ again! Olivia's shoulders tense up as what he said, and then all eyes stare directly at her. Damien! Come on, Hot Wheels! Show them why you're the best! She groans a bit and refocuses on the screen. The group simmers down to the silence in anticipation of the start of the final match. Sudden silence actually catches me off guard for a second. Long enough for my own doubts to catch up to me. Buster's playstyle, it's like he's not really trying. The match starts and the hype flares right back up. That's stupid of me to think. He's a gamer bro champion type. He's got way too much to lose. And yet... Hey, Damien. Yeah? You notice anything off about how Buster's playing? You noticed it too. Guess I'm not just paranoid then. Like, I didn't really watch your match, but he was always so passive? No. But like, these two are crazy good, so maybe this is all like mind games? As if he's going to throw the game and let her win. We glance back at the ongoing battle happening on the screen and I take notice of Buster's hand movements. As Olivia launches her character into a furious combo, sure enough, Buster hesitates just enough to let his fighter get hit by the first blow. That's brilliant timing. This is crazy. Huh? Then it hits me all at once like a freight train. The way Buster was looking down at Olivia, how he didn't want to take her challenge, all the excuses he was given. He's a virgin. Oh, shit! But also, he's throwing the whole match, isn't he? Damn it. Even here, Olivia was right. Damien, I think he's taking it easier on her. You think so? Damien takes a moment to ponder what I said. Dang. Even here. That's what I was thinking. Should we do something? What, interrupt the match? Everyone else is having fun. The crowd whoops again. Only now it sounds a bit different. Hollow. Mocking. Damien's frill sags with concern. He turns to me. What we came here for is a good time. If she can't tell, what's the harm? Jeez. You know what I mean. Yeah, I do. I hate that he's right. I could stand up for her, but thinking back to the conversation with Mia, standing up for her there didn't really pay off either. But that was a while ago, I just don't know. I look over the crowd again. The match is about halfway done, judging by the remaining health pools. Don't cause a fuss for Olivia or cheer Olivia on. They're the same fucking choice! Cheer. I know Olivia normally doesn't like this from strangers, but I'm no stranger to Olivia. She knows my intentions. We're friends. On screen, it looks like the characters are about to strike one another with their feet. I cup my hands around my mouth. Go, Olivia! You got this! Damon recoils from my scream, or maybe I popped his eardrum, judging by the glare he levels at me. He then raises 2 fingers to his mouth. Heck yeah, you got this! Even Liz tries to join in, shouting down at the crowd of their own cheers. Oh, you know what would be cool? You can do it, Hot Wheels! Yeah, go, Hot Wheels, go! Olivia flinches and turns her head back to us for a bit. Curiously, so does her opponent. She sees us cheering, and she gets her usual disfavoring furrowed brow. No way, I'm sticking to my guns. Eyes on the screen! Hot Wheels is gonna get you! Beat him without even looking! She stares right through the crowd at me. It's only an instant, but it feels longer. But her subtle scowl cracks. She then completely folds into a smirk back at us. She faces back to the screen with renewed vigor. Buster shakes his head to snap himself out of his own slog. Looks like he was only intended to lose by a little. He's picking up the pace now. Only... Time! The match time's out. Ah, dang. Want to go another round? People need a winner. Actually, mind if I run to the restroom real fast? Shit, yeah, it's down that way. Olivia turns and smiles at me again. It's warm. She then goes off to the restroom. Buster waits for her to be out of earshot and scrambles over to Damien and I. Hey, you two. You guys weren't serious, right? Huh? You were saying Hot Wheels. That's not really her, right? The Hot Wheels from a decade ago? Yeah, that's her. Why? Damn, I feel like a jackass now. You were throwing for her, weren't you? A little. Your buddy Finhead gave me some sob story about her during our match, and I felt bad, okay? Who wants to be known as the asshole that picks on cripples? Oh, Buster was being hospitable to the young lady. Who the fuck? Shut up! Yo, Buster, you simping? Piss off! But yeah, I didn't mean any disrespect or anything. Crap, I didn't know she had history here. I should have had more respect than that. He sighs. What'll you do now? I'll play for real. It's what she deserves. That's all we ask. Buster nods and turns with a thumbs up. He cracks his knuckles and neck in preparation for his first legitimate match of the day. You're still kind of simping, though. Shut the hell up, Dave! Olivia returns, sliding up to the machine once more. Thanks for waiting. No problem. Ready? You know it. Good, because you're going down this time. They give each other one last competitive leer before putting all their focus on the screen. Just as before, Buster chooses the OP character and Olivia picks Wani Long. As soon as the in-game announcer yells fight, Buster immediately goes in for the kill, the total opposite of how he was playing last match. He catches Olivia off guard for a moment, leading her character to eat a massive combo that takes away a good chunk of her health. True to his word, he isn't holding back this time for Olivia's sake, dealing her the same level of beatdown brutality he gave the opponents before her. This only seems to invigorate her, putting her skills in hand in an overdrive. Even though Buster's going at full force, Olivia still manages to get Wani Long to land a few punches and kicks along with evading some attacks. The crowd seems to notice the reappearance of Buster's lethality, causing an uproar of cheering and whoops. Damien, of course, follows suit. You got this, Hot Wheels! Kick his ass! Can't let him be the only one, right? Show him why you're the champ! Unfortunately, not even Olivia could beat Buster's true fighting skills, and like his previous opponents, Kobold wins! The crowd is a mix of groans and cheers and excitement at the ill-fated defeat of Olivia. Buster crosses his arms basking in self-pride of beating the legendary Hot Wheels. Damn, you really handed my ass to me. Didn't I say I was kind of a big deal around here? Yeah. Though I gotta admit, you gave me a real challenge to see why you're known as a champ. Thanks. If you're ever up for a rematch, you know where to find me. With that, Olivia makes her way over to us, a smile beaming across her face. Alright, who's next? We exit the crowd into a more spacious part of the arcade. That was awesome, Liv! You really gave him a run for his money. I know, right? I mean, I'm a bit rusty, but the moment I got my hands on the controls and he gave me a real fight, I was so close to beating him. Despite being outmatched and losing to Buster, seems to be having more fun than ever. I'm feeling all jittery after that fight. That's the gamer rush setting in. Hey, you know they sell food here, right? We should go get some snacks to celebrate. Well, I was smelling grease, and I was just assuming it was... He takes his own order and starts marching off in another direction. Damien, wait for the rest of us! Food, huh? You know what? I could go for a little something. Yeah, it is getting pretty late. Come on, they went this way. Olivia starts plying through the crowd once more. Oh boy, this again. I'll call it exercise. Alright! This has gone on long enough. I apologize. I was literally waiting for a moment to stop, but there was, like, no scene change at all. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about I Want to Hug That Gator down in the comments below. And I'll see all you no bros later. Peace for now. Bye!